because the whole purpose of this is to understand how our relationships are impacting our experience of the world, of our bodies. I'm Heather Grzych, and this is the Wisdom of the Body podcast. This podcast explores the idea of body intelligence as the real key to learning the knowledge of life, or what we call Ayurveda in the ancient language of Sanskrit. We do that by connecting with today's creative leaders and experts who will help you listen to your body, trust your gut, and live in deeper harmony with nature. Come join me as we unlock the golden door to clear, direct perception and become very deep listeners. You can find the Wisdom of the Body podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also follow us by joining my email at heathergrzych.com or on Instagram at heathergrzych. I know you're going to love this podcast, so take a second right now to subscribe. Draw the senses inward, practicing your pratyahara, or the withdrawal of the food, the sensory food. And so bring that flashlight into the spaces of your body, bringing the flashlight into the spaces of your body, like it's kind of snaking its way through there, and all the little parts sneaking its way in there. That awareness, it's like seeping through all the tissues. And so bringing your attention to your core of your body, into your belly, into your heart, into the soft, squishy, lovey places of your body, into the barrier holders of your body now, finding your barrier holders. So the parts of you that you feel tense up when you feel unsafe, finding where those are. Sometimes it's like one little specific spot, and sometimes it's like everywhere. Is it the skin? Is it the fascia? What parts of us are creating these little barriers when we feel unsafe? Which we do sometimes. We do feel unsafe in very strange situations, and it doesn't always make sense. And we also have this incredible capacity for love and attachment, connection, and living with that duality that we can be an individual and yet also connected to something that's bigger than us, whether that's family or our work, our community, our spiritual center, whatever that is. And so going into your family right now and choosing a person who you would like to work on today, your relationship with that person, something that you're up for. And it could be any kind of thing that you want to work on. It could be like a family member that you're mad at, someone you have resentments for. It could be someone you feel too attached to. It could be someone you're wanting more from. Whenever you feel the balance and the equilibrium is off between you and another person, there is a dynamic play that needs attention. And so choosing one today, just one to focus on. And first of all, just see that person's face. And if this is a person who is still alive, where they are now, or if they're not alive, where you think they may be. And seeing this person's face in the way that you remember it. So it could be that person's face when they were, 10 years ago, or it could be that face that you saw last week. It could be the face when they were a child. What face, when you envision this person, what is the face that comes up? Where was that time in that place where that face was then, with that face that you remember? And that person's voice. See if you can recall that person's voice. and also where that was in time and space when you remember that voice. When you remember that voice and you remember that face, and they may be different times or they could be the same. But where are those memories coming from? And for a moment here, what is the one word that comes to mind when you think about how you feel about this person? So when you recall how you feel about this person, what is the one word that comes to mind for you? That one word. And when you feel that one word, feel that where that lives, that feeling of that word, where does that live for that person in your body? Where does that live? What quality does that have in your body? Because the whole purpose of this is to understand how our relationships are impacting our experience of the world, of our bodies, beyond even the relationship. Beyond even the relationship. Because we have memory, because we have patterning and conditioning. So knowing where the impacts live within us. So feeling that center, wherever that location is, of where you feel that word of how you feel. And then for a moment here, contemplating like why that word? Why that word? And as you answer this question in your own heart, in your own mind, now what do you feel in your body? Do you feel that in the same place as before? Do you feel that in a different place? Why that word? And when you feel that, whatever it is that you're feeling, and you feel that in your body, does it have an energy of, what kind of energy does it have? Does it have an energy of openness or closedness? Does it have an energy of lifting or lowering? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it slow? Is it fast? Does it move around into different places, or does it stay somewhere? Does it feel like it's mixed, or does it feel very clear? Does it feel very clear, the sensation? Does it have any kind of texture to it? And just settle into that, fully feeling it. Now, as you're feeling it longer, going into that feeling, just for a moment, kind of like meditating on that feeling, going into that feeling, feeling it, kind of magnifying it, grossifying it for a moment. And watching it now as you're grossifying it, and now intentionally letting it go in the same way that you made it more powerful, making it less powerful, letting it go. And as you let it go, and as it fades away, where is it fading? Is it fading in a direction? Is it fading everywhere? Is it fading slowly, quickly, as it fades? Is it hard to let go of? Or is it like, yes, can't wait to get rid of this. And as you're feeling this, if you're feeling like any desire to move your body in a certain way, just go ahead and do that. Like it could be just a small adjustment. It could be like something with your mouth or your throat, depending on where you're feeling it. Let it fade away. Let it go. Come back to that person's face. Come back to that person's life. I want you to see that person in their life. See that person with how they wake up in the morning, how they go through their day, how they eat, what they eat, how they sleep at night, who they spend their time with, their friends, their lovers, their family, their colleagues. Who are they around? And going back for them, to them as a child, that person as a child, as you see them as a child at whatever age you'd like to pick. How do you see this child? What is that child's life like? What is that? What are the parents like? What's the home like? What is the community like? What kind of environment is there? What does that child love more than anything? What does that child love more than anything? What does that child have afraid of? What is that child afraid of? And is there anything from that childhood that may have affected that person as an adult? So as we look at each of our heroes' journeys or our heroines' journeys and the arc of our life and the story of our life, or Paulo Coelho called it our personal legend, as we go through the arc of our life, what is that person's arc? You may not be able to see all of it. You probably only see the parts that that person has shown you. But what can you understand from what you know so far? What can you understand from what you know so far? Now again, coming back to that person's face, imagine that you're near that person. And if you have identified a specific way of being, a feeling, a thought, an emotion, something that you'd like to let go of today about this person, go ahead and decide what that is now, if you haven't. Say, I am releasing this person from the feelings I am holding in my body. I am releasing this person from the feelings I am holding in my body. I'm releasing this person from the feelings I am holding in my body. And this does not mean I do not love them. And this does not mean I will not have future feelings. But I'm releasing those which I have been holding. Which I have been holding in my body. I'm letting them go. I'm letting them go. Again, moving if you need to. Doesn't have to be still. Letting it go. Letting it go. If you are embarking on a fertility journey and are ready to have your mind blown about what your body is really capable of and how it's impacted by the environment, then check out my book, The Ayurvedic Guide to Fertility. You can actually download the introduction to the book for free on my website at heathergrzych.com. That's Heather, GRZYCH.com. Read the intro for free and then buy the rest of this fertility enlightening book pretty much anywhere books are sold. Thank you for tuning in and dropping in with us today. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I really want to hear your feedback. To learn more about my work, visit heathergrzych.com. That's Heather, GRZYCH.com. And meet me here next time on The Wisdom of the Body.